Happy Sunday, folks. We're going to get into the mailbag video today. I took your questions. I'm going to give it some answers, and we're going to have some fun on this Sunday. But before we get into today's video, understand that this 3-day weekend is not just having a 3-day weekend of barbecue. It is for the people that faced the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their life for this country. Memorial Day is a day to remember the ultimate sacrifice of the heroes that they laid their life down for what we have today. So I want to extend all the love and prayers to anybody that has served that country, or if you've had the ultimate sacrifice in your family. God bless you all. God bless you all. Let's go ahead and get into today's mailbag video. We're going to start with the first question here. How many wins do you think that we will have? When I looked at this schedule, this is 100% a brutal schedule. It is a difficult schedule for sure. And I think that the team is equivalent to what it was last year in regards to talent. We lost Carlton Davis. We brought in DJ Reed. To me, that's a supplement. Terrion Arnold's a little bit better than last year. You got Hutch coming back. We got Alim McNeill come back about week 8. And you look at the draft, I think that the Lions team is equivalent to last year, but I think they'll get 12 wins. And the reason why I went lower with the wins is because the schedule is absolutely brutal. I was hearing it is the hardest schedule in the history of the NFL, the road schedule at least. It is playoff team after playoff team after playoff team, so I think the team could be the same in regards to talent and have less wins. It doesn't mean that they're going to be a worse team or anything like that. It's just a brutal schedule. And, sometimes you get beat. But I'm going to go with 12 wins. I think that's ideal for this schedule. You could do 11, 12 wins. I think that would be pretty realistic right there. Folks, if you've not subscribed to the channel, you might as well do it right now. Hit that sub button. Let's get into the next question on here. Should the Lions add a quarterback? Why? I don't understand this, that the Lions doesn't need to add a quarterback unless there is an injury. Hendon Hooker is developing. We've already heard that from Mark Brunell. He's taken steps forward. 3rd-round draft pick, super cheap backup. And you got Kyle Allen, who is, he's a career backup. The Lions are fine with this position. I think Hendon Hooker will take that role at backup quarterback QB2, and we'll have a young backup quarterback. Well, he's still on a rookie deal, even though he's a little bit older, right? But he's a good backup to have. I see zero reason at this point, unless he somehow cratered in training camp and didn't progress to be a backup, and I don't believe that's to be the case. So I think we're fine with Hendon Hooker. I think he'll be your QB2, again, unless something unforeseen happens, like maybe injury or something, right? Will Lions make a splash move before week 1? Well, you need to define what splash move is. If you're talking about trading for a Trey Hendrickson, absolutely not. They're not going to be making that move. I have seen or if you're talking about trading Jameson Williams away, they're not going to do that. It makes no sense. First off, Brad Holmes is transparent. He 100% is telling you what he's going to do. He's not one of these fibbers. He's not doing smoke. He has said he's not going to do that when it comes to finding a pass rusher. Believe it. He's not going to do that. So the Trey Hendrickson thing is not going to be on the table. Jameson Williams is not getting traded. This idea that the Lions are going to trade him is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. They're in a Super Bowl winning mode now. When Brad Holmes spoke about it, he said, I don't even know where it came from. And I believe him. I believe in him. Dan Campbell never spoke about it. And that's the thing where I want to know where these stupid rumors came from. Because if they didn't talk about it, and I believe them, they're pretty honest people, that's it. Now, if you're talking about a splash move, maybe like bringing a Zadarius Smith, okay, I could see that before week 1 if you could sit as a splash move. A Zadarius Smith coming here would be great, or if they picked up another pass rusher that, there's all the teams are going to be cutting players. So you don't know who's going to get cut. Maybe a player they love gets cut and they sign them. So that may be considered a splash move, but if you're talking about a trade, no. Trade deadline, I mean, you don't really know at that point. We did give up 2 third-round draft picks for next year, so we don't have trade deadline third-round compensation. They can always use something else. But that's always a possibility. I mean, literally, we did it last year, right? But we just wouldn't know who's on the market at this. Oh, you said before week 1. So, yeah, that wouldn't happen before week 1. But if they're talking about the trade deadline, too, you don't even know who's on the market or who's going to be trade bait at all. It'd be just like no team has won or lost yet, so there's that is irrelevant. Again, let's go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, it does push the content out there, and I really would like to get to that 100K mark. So the more subs we get closer to 86. It's just one step closer to getting the channel pretty high up there. Next question, let's go into your will Hutchinson get extended? Yes, yes, yes. He's 100% going to get extended. I think it happens before week 1. I think it's like last year's Jared Goff, St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker contract, and Alim McNeill. It's going to happen. He's now fully cleared at some point relatively in the near future. Aidan Hutchinson is going to be the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL. Deserves it. He deserves it. Deserving. Because his work ethic, we know what he's gonna bring. He's one of those guys. We know when we gave St. Brown that money, he wasn't going to fall off a cliff. We knew when we gave Penei Sewell that money, he wasn't going to fall off a cliff. We knew that Jared Goff wouldn't fall off a cliff. We know Aidan Hutchinson's not going to fall off a cliff. He is a blue chip, high-end motor, never quitting son of a bee who is going to give it his all, whether he's getting paid the rookie deal or he's going to be the highest paid edge in all of football relatively soon. So, yes, he's going to get paid, and we all should be happy about that. But Jameson Williams, though, because I didn't see him question on here, that could be a way. I wouldn't suggest that he's fully not going to be on the team. I think that if Jameson Williams, after this year, if he keeps his nose to the playbook and just, does everything well, he could be extended at some point, right? I mean, the Lions do like to get their own guys. I think right now it's a little bit less likely after this year because you can still do a franchise tag if they really wanted to, right? They have other ways if they wanted to hold on to him. But that's more of a wait-and-see approach. But Hutchinson, 100% yes. Name a player who will have a big year. Ooh, I love this question. And how about we do a little bit different, though? I'm not going to do I could be like Aidan Hutchinson. I think we all know he's probably going to have a big year, right? Let me think of a player that, generally speaking, we wouldn't know of having a big year. How about, I'll go this. I think that Terrion Arnold is going to have a big year. I think he's going to make a lot of growth this year. I'm going to go with Terrion Arnold. I think he's going to make a lot of growth. I think he's a smart kid. I think he learns quickly. We've seen it last year. It felt like he was learning. He started out rough, but he learns, and gets better. And I think he'll have a really good year. I think that year 2 for him, unlike some rookies from last year, the year before, they could have that sophomore slump. I don't see that being the case for Terrion Arnold because he's just progressively getting better. It's for his position, the cornerback position, and the way that they're going to be, the way that these coaches teach these players, the development for Arnold will come along. I'm not concerned about that. Another player that could have a big year, maybe that we're not talking about, Tim Patrick. He could have a big year. I know we got Tesla, but hey, remember when Tim Patrick, it took about, a month and a half for him to get going last year? Well, he'll be going right off the beginning here. So the Lions are going to throw him some footballs. I know a lot of people don't still talk about Tim Patrick because we got Tesla, but he's going to be the guy who's going to be the number 3 right off rip. I think he could have a big year, right? He could be inserted into this office. John Morris, these lists all about getting him the football since Patrick can play on the outside as well in the slot. He's one of those players that can be universal for a wide receiver. So, yeah, I think he could have a big year as well. Again, sub to the channel. It does help out. Next question. Name one outside free agent the Lions would sign. Oof, outside free agent. We've talked about Zadarius Smith. Let's see. We talked about Clowney and Walker. Those really it at this point. There's not a lot out there. And I was thinking safety as well, but from what I was hearing from rookie camp, the 7th round pick doing pretty good. The undrafted is doing pretty good. So they may not even need to get a safety. So it would just be the edge position, and it's just the same players that we have talked about endlessly. It's because it's off season and not much is going on, and so when this is happening, it's all about just trying to get some players. But you can look at Matt Judon as one of those guys, right? Zadarius Smith, Javion Clowney, Justin Simmons. If they really win this, we already talked about the safety just right before this, and they may not even go that route now because of the guys that they got. They don't need offensive line anymore, like Brandon Scherf. They're not going to need him. So not much. Not much. They don't need much. Just one edge. That's what they need to get, in my opinion. If they do that, this team is set. Like, the depth is top to bottom. This team's got talent all over it. And just need, I think, one more player to say that this puzzle is pretty much complete for this year. One complete roster if they do that, in my opinion. So give me your thoughts on today's topics, what you thought about the questions. Put questions for next week. With that said, folks, adios.